Welcome back. I'm half of the podcast, Mel.
And I'm the other half, Sam.
And we care a lot. That feels still really new.
We're like, dead stop. The script ended. Now what?
Now freak out. We hope that you've been enjoying our new title, our new name.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, let's just get right into it and act like this is completely normal. So today, I mean, you obviously can read titles, and you're probably listening to it because you are interested in the topic.
Yes.
But, kind of ending the month of love. I know there's still another few days after this. Or
yeah, there's
basically a few more days after our episodes post of February, but it's kind of ending after that. So to end the month of love, we really want to discuss maintenance in your relationship. We talked a lot about how not to get in a bad relationship and things to look after. But most of all, for those of you who are in relationship or looking to be in long-term relationships, I think there's a lot there that people forget about or, don't know because trauma, you learn terrible things from your parents.
It's just getting to the goal of being in a relationship, and then it's okay, cool.
Now what?
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Now what do I do?
And to be fair, we're not fucking experts. Clearly, we've all had breakups here.
Yeah.
So take this with a grain of salt, but also this is what we've come to realize. So to get into it.
Through our experiences, yes. So, like we said, you get into a relationship and sometimes you're just I don't know, you're kind of swept off your feet and you're not really thinking about the long-term, not effects of being in a relationship, but lifestyle change of being in a relationship. So that alone is something to absorb, because the honeymoon stage that people say it should never end, whatever. But but there's still a degree of newness that will fade off, whether you call that your honeymoon stage or just...
I also feel it should wear off. I know that sounds pessimistic a little, but
yeah,
real life has to settle in, and if you're not comfortable in the real life settings of things, then I don't know that.
It's I guess, what's your definition of the honeymoon? Because if you're in love, yes, that should last the entire time.
Correct. I'm talking about the needing to see each other every single moment of every single day, constant talking, constant it's almost like that infatuation.
Won't shut up about them. You're your friends are shut up. You've been together 6 years, bitch. Definitely though. So I think there's that aspect of the newness being exciting, whatever, and then you get comfortable and you're oh my god, that's my person, and what about it? You're just expected to be by my side through everything, so just this is it.
Yeah,
this is what you're getting. And I think you can get comfortable in a lot of ways, comfortable in not wanting to be as independent anymore, or comfortable in who you are and not growing because you're well, I found a person, why do I need to change anymore? I'm good enough,
they love
right?
me for me.
Exactly.
It also in routine aspect, you, especially if for example, I live with my partner, so it's that shit gets really intertwined quickly, and that's a different set of comfortability where it's physical, being together and doing the same things,
not getting as cute for things anymore. Yeah, because you're fuck it.
It is you see me at all hours of the day, why do I have to try a little bit more? So there's that. But being comfortable is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just it could lead to a codependency, but also a loss of
a lack of trying, lack of
effort in yourself,
or
with others,
or with everyone.
Yeah. It could go so many ways.
All around, just a lack.
Yeah.
The other thing is that your partner is not responsible for all of your emotions and all of your baggage and all of your emotions, everything. And I feel that's really easy to get caught up in, because you want that person to thrive, and you want them to help you thrive, and there's all these expectations, but they're also a human being trying to sort through their own shit.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard to remember that sometimes when you're but you love me, or but you should do this, or you should do that, or I don't know.
Even if it comes from a good intention of I'm just trying to help, I think sometimes people take on others' feelings and problems and
as their own, yeah.
And sometimes, like, it's not good for you, but it's also sometimes not good for them, because then they're not able to self-soothe and assure themselves or reevaluate the things that they need to. Mm-hmm. It just becomes like something that they're being told to do, or you know what I mean?
Constant reassurance from someone else, which we talked a lot about in validation. So, yeah, I think it's easy to fall into just relying on your partner for everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't do that.
Lastly in this little list is change is inevitable. So maintaining a relationship with change in mind, like, that's only going to make it easier. It's only going to make you thrive as a couple or a throuple or whatever you're in.
Your polyamorous relationship, whatever.
Yeah.
Floats your boat.
Remembering that change is going to happen and working with the change versus against it will just put you in the clear, I think.
Like, it'd just be unreasonable to be like, well, I'm forever going to be this person and you're forever going to be that person.
Yeah.
And with these set of characteristics.
Definitely. I think people tend to believe that, like, the way that two people met, or the way that people met, is going to be how it is forever. And
especially at a young age.
I guess it can be to an extent, but I think overall, yeah, like, we're going to grow old, obviously, hopefully. And
God willing.
Hopefully our partners, I mean, they're also going to grow old, and you become different people literally from one year to the next. So imagine 20 years from now, completely different people. Not in like I don't recognize that person, maybe, honestly. But
not to be
not to be
negative.
Not even negative, but like, I don't remember her. She was hurting, or like that was a different time of my life. Like, or like, you know, that concept where like you think like 4 years ago and you're like, that feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
Like, that was a different life. And that's how it's always going to feel. And just moving with the person and realizing that change is going to happen, and you need to maintain your relationship and like work at it constantly, is just how it is.
Life changes in general. Jobs.
Yes.
Starting families, getting married, fucking, I don't know, all these things change the littlest dynamic. Moving to a different city, like, all of that.
You're literally just adding like a friend in is gonna change
throw
things.
Off the, yeah.
Grieving, like losing family members, that definitely all can really change things.
Yeah.
These are all the fucking reasons on why we really gotta maintain
it. Yeah. You can't just get in and be like, cool on, like,
this is it.
Deal with it. Love you. So, some ways to maintain your relationship. First, courageous conversations.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds cheesy. Courageous conversations.
Have a courageous conversation.
Have a courageous conversation with your partner. But it's just like having important conversations or hard conversations. Whether it's like, it really bugs me when you do this, and it's like a repetitive thing that they need to change about themselves. You could either sit there and get comfortable with it and be like, I'm not going to say anything, it's whatever, I'm over it. Or
I don't know that ever happens, though.
You just get resentful. And
resentment always builds.
Yeah, it won't work. Trust me. So yeah, having those conversations where you point out things that maybe you don't want to talk about. Mm-hmm. Or let's say you didn't want kids 5 years ago when you met them, and you guys both agreed on that, and now you want kids. That's tough, but you shouldn't have to compromise what you want, and they shouldn't either.
Yeah.
So,
and the more that you put it off, the more pain I think it's gonna cause too.
Yeah, because the longer you're together, it's just like, the more you have
like,
in
not
it.
To talk about you breaking up already, but like but like, it could also just be like a reevaluation of how a relationship's gonna work. Like, maybe you still want to be together, give her or him another couple years and then actually decide, or whatever, you know? Like,
yeah, like, this is just a thought I'm having. It doesn't mean I want kids right now, or whatever your new conversation's about.
Yeah.
But yeah, giving it time and just being open and honest about those things, even though it's hard.
I think with the courageous conversation, like, being like leading with kindness in what you're saying, and also receiving with an open mind. Both things have to happen. And I think at the end of the day with these conversations, you have to remember that you guys are on the same team and that you love each other, and that, like, it's not an attack to one person, you know what I mean? Or vice versa.
Hopefully. If you're in a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Which
And if you're not, then
that's the
it's a different
basis.
conversation.
It's the basis of this conversation, that
Yeah.
you're both
In a
healthy mindset together.
yeah.
Yeah, I think courageous conversations are just like something you just don't want to do, but
You have to.
because the reason you don't want to is because you're scared you're gonna break up.
Yeah, or you're gonna lose something in the relationship.
Yeah, which
Whether
sacrifices a thing.
I also feel that fear sometimes like talks too loudly, and like the other side of that is that you guys only end up being stronger as a partnership. And I think that should maybe like think about it as like the possibility of this going really good is
Equal. It's 50-50.
It's equal. Yeah.
Maybe. Hopefully.
hopefully. Another thing that you can do to maintain a relationship, which sounds kind of like the flip side of things, is having more alone time.
Yeah.
And this kind of, I feel like all of these are like relationship builders more than maintenance, but it could become maintenance if you're doing it consistently, I guess.
Yeah.
But if you're feeling like there's some things that are either lacking or not necessarily fulfilling your entire relationship, but you love this person and you want things to only get better, or even if you're doing good, you just want things to get even better, these are some things
Or stay good.
or stay good, yeah. But alone time, it sounds like contradicting because you're trying to spend more time with your partner so that you guys can be better, but
sometimes it's
the opposite. I think creating or reminding yourself like why this person fell in love with you and vice versa, why you fell in love with them, can really help maintain that like initial attraction and initial desire for the person.
Yeah.
I think also as you become more solid in like remembering who you are or just maintaining who you are, it becomes easier to have an equal relationship, and also staying away from like codependency, which is like in itself just not good.
I remember my mom telling me, it must have been my first boyfriend, that she was just like, spending time alone is good, like you don't have to be with them 24/7, or like I'd come back after spending like 3 days in a row with them, she'd be like, don't you get tired of each other ever? And I was like, no.
No.
Like, we're just so in love. Like, it's just, I want to be with him all the time. And it was low-key just not that. It becomes very toxic to yourself and to the relationship to be together all the time. But we have a whole episode on that. So
you can listen to that.
Yeah.
But remember that it is important.
Mm-hmm.
And you also just deserve some of that peace,
Yeah, not even like that the person you're with is not peaceful, but just like...
Yeah, just...
in general, not having to listen to what someone else wants. It's nice.
Yeah.
You're like, I know what I want now.
Yeah, exactly. Another little tip, I guess, or thing that we both agree is really helpful is check-ins. This can be a structured time, which I think is the most helpful, where you like either monthly come back to your partner. You know how people have like budgeting meetings or like... meetings about certain things.
I would say don't combine these though with a budgeting meeting.
No.
Giving emotions, money.
It's just too much.
It's a lot.
I make it a different day.
Yeah.
But I think checking in with your partner and allowing a again safe environment for these courageous conversations is so important. And also like having that space just really allows each of you to kind of, I also like the idea of like, you can obviously talk about it in the moment, but like you don't always have to have like these huge, large conversations. You can move on, let yourself like kind of simmer and allow it to like brew in your, not like brew in a bad way, but like allow it to process in your head before you speak it out loud to the person that you love, so that it comes from a place of kindness and you don't need to feel necessarily resentful or angry, but you can just say, hey, this really hurt my feelings, or I wish this changed. Or I need more of this from you. I noticed that this week you didn't do that, whatever, I
will say, I feel like having check-ins made me not that they were fights, but like want to fight with the person less, because I was like, I know that we both agreed that we're going to talk on whatever day, at whatever time, whatever the case is. And so I don't really need to bring this up right now. It's not a big enough deal to where I'm like, oh my God, like this needs to be resolved today. It's more like, noted. And I'm going to bring that up a little bit later. Yes. That was not okay or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
So I would say that's one of the best things to do.
Yeah. I think also with a check-in though, it doesn't necessarily have to be about the things that bothered you about them, or like what hurt you. It could also be about the really great things that they did for you in that week or that month. And also, it could be a really fun time to like set relationship goals that don't necessarily need to come with like finances to things, but just more of like,
Where do we see us in a year?
Yeah, or I would really like for us to go on a date twice a month or something like that.
I plan a date and you plan a date.
It could just be that kind of a check-in where you're just like, hey,
what are my expectations?
Yeah.
What would make me feel the most supported this next month or whatever, however often you're going to do it. But I will say definitely do a positive and negative situation. Not negative, but like
Needs
things
work
I
on.
love, things
That
that
need work.
we need some support on
Yeah.
or whatever. Because it just feels like an attack if you're going to do all negative.
Yeah, I definitely feel the positive is important.
If you don't have positive, then that is a check-in for yourself to be like, I need to check out. There's nothing positive in this relationship anymore, then maybe I should
even
see
have,
myself out.
and then that's when the courageous conversation comes of like, I'm having a really hard time coming up with something that feels positive
to say about you.
Yeah.
And we're going on 3 months where I haven't had anything positive to say. So, for that reason, I'm out.
Yeah. These are great questions that you can ask in your check-ins. How can I support you better? I think also this is really cool for like situational. Like if you know you're going to have like a next tough month or even just like a busy month, asking these things for your partner is like it's incredible. And also like you would be surprised on what comes up, because you probably think that you're being supportive as already, like as you are, but maybe they need just a tad more or a specific thing.
Just a relief, I feel like, on both ends, because the person trying to support, they know exactly what you want.
Yeah.
And then the person who needs to be supported doesn't need in their moment of need to say, you need to do this, or I need you to do this. It's like, you already know.
Yeah,
so if
it's
you're
not
not
a
doing it,
guessing game.
then I don't know what to tell you. Like,
And that can come up in the next meeting.
yeah, and then that'll come up in the
say,
next
"Hey,
meeting. You didn't support me that time I asked you.
I told you exactly what I needed and you didn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another question is, what am I doing well? So this is like the positive things. If you can't say anything,
Yeah.
I don't know, but
I can't help you.
I think you could probably come up with something that made you happy. But like we always say, like if the negatives in your relationship outweigh the positives, then that's definitely something to consider.
Yeah.
Another question is, what can we do to feel closer? So this could be like going on more dates, spending time with each other's family.
Yeah. Whatever
that
their
looks
love
like.
language is.
Yeah.
Leaning into that. There's a lot of ways, and it's unique to everyone. So that's why you have to have the conversations. I feel like it's so easy when you're in a relationship to be like, I know what they want, I know what they need, I know what I want, I know what I need, and to just live and never talk about it and never like address anything. And then there's all this sudden resentment, like, you know what's really pissed me off all these years? Like, that you never blank.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you never told me you needed that. So how am I
Totally.
supposed to know?
I also feel like, I know this doesn't, like, this probably feels really like structured, like here's a checklist on your relationship, but also at the same time, if you're with somebody and they don't want to have these types of like conversations or these things in the checklist, then they're not open. Like if someone can't answer the question of how can I support you better, or what am I doing well, what can we feel like do if they can't genuinely answer, I think then that gives you like a good tell of like whether this person's a good partner or not. And you don't want somebody who's literally not emotionally intelligent or self-aware enough to like answer these questions. So figure that out for yourself.
And I know that it's like easier said than done to be like, I see this red flag, I see that they're not doing this, and just be like, okay, well then I'm out, because it's never that black and white.
Yeah,
but it's a red flag.
It's a red flag.
So do what you will with the amount you've collected, but I'm sure if this is one of the red flags, the other ones probably aren't looking too good. Like they're probably piling up at this point. And I feel like, another note, if you're adding in, it's never a bad thing to add in check-ins, but if you're adding them because you feel like your relationship is like rolling downhill fast, not saying that it's not gonna help or not fix the issues, whatever, because it's gonna be work. Relationships are work, that's what everyone says. But I think just assess where you're at. And if you're having to have like these really structured check-ins and the person is also kind of resistant to it, like that's just bow out.
It's kind of like when people don't want to go to therapy.
It's like literally I'm not even suggesting we pay someone money to help us. I'm just saying let's sit down for 30 minutes.
Just talk to me, bro.
Like just have a conversation with me.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking. And if it's like, I don't know, I feel like there's always ways too that they either will postpone it or like they make it a rushed thing or like, okay, are we done yet type vibe. And it's like, just, like, don't you want to make me happy? Don't you want me to make you happy? Like, that's the whole point of this conversation. And if you're not in it, why are we here? Like,
yeah. If you feel like you're too busy for this, then that's...
Like, you're too busy for me then.
Yeah, you're too busy for me.
That's
literally, that's it.
So... I will say it's hard, but
you gotta do it, girl.
Because they always gaslight you like, oh, well, like, that's ridiculous. Like, I can't believe we're at this point. Or they'll just say dumb shit, and it's like, then you start second guessing, like, oh my god, we are at this point. Like,
we are at this point.
Yeah. And then you're like, fuck me. So, I don't know. Be careful with them gaslighters out there. That's all I gotta say.
For real. To quickly just like end this on a good note though.
Yes.
I think the whole comfortableness and like knowing that change is going to be inevitable, remembering that you need to keep dating your partner. I think it becomes really hard when you just feel super comfortable and you just feel like, you know, they're just a part of your day-to-day shit. It like that's when I think things kind of arise and problems become to like be enlightened.
The head, yeah.
So like remember they have to keep dating your partner as if like you first met kind of a thing. Not like acting like you don't know anything about each other, but just like
I mean you could.
It's kind of fun. Role play.
Okay.
I literally saw one that said like get really, really ready and then drive separately to a bar and pretend you just met for the first time. That sounds so fun. I'm kind of nervous.
Cute. I said like, okay, but I'm an Uber and then you drive because I don't want to
because
I don't want to get too drunk. Yeah, and then take me home. See, even that it works.
But yeah, so just keep dating your partner. Take them on dates.
Be spontaneous.
Kind of, it's like brings up those feelings again of initially why you were there, why you wanted to be with this person. It's a good like reminder, a good refresh, and it just keeps things interesting. Like I
think like the number one reason that people don't want to be in relationships is because it is mundane. Like it gets boring. I want the chase. I want the flirt. I want the excitement.
Create it.
Like, I guess literally you have to create it, and that's fine, and you're doing it because you love who you're with.
Yeah.
And also consider what their love language is when you're dating, like keeping the dating going on. Because if they love acts of service, maybe your dating version is like, let me help you do this and then take you on a date or whatever, you know, like there's ways to like incorporate love languages and be thoughtful in that way. And even small shit, like, what's a small thing you do when you're dating? Like, write them a fucking letter.
Literally.
Or a card.
Write them a cute note.
Send them a card at work. Like, I don't know, you know?
Cute. Yeah.
It's not that hard.
It's literally not that hard. Logan keeps posting.
Yes, dude. I was about to say Logan.
Logan keeps literally roasting men.
I'm living for it.
She keeps posting on her story, like, every time she goes into a store, like, the Valentine's Day section.
Like Vaughn's, not even
like
just...
Vaughn's, Target, just, like, very easy places. Like, they literally have a setup, and she just keeps saying, they literally make it so easy for you. Like, just do it. Those things are, like, year-round. Like, they're kind of there all the fucking
Flowers
time.
Are always at the store. There's always people selling flowers.
It's only pink and red at this time of year. It's the same shit, just different colors at different times of the year. But anyway, it's literally not that hard. So
keep dating. Literally bushes with fucking flowers in it.
Yeah, just go pick them.
Just go pick a flower. One single flower. Be like, made me think of you. Because you're so beautiful like this flower. I don't know.
Bring me a bowl of fruit. I don't fucking know.
A bowl of fruit.
A basket of fruit.
Why not?
You picked it yourself.
Like, what else? A cute rock. Some man at the beach. I don't know if I've told this story, but I went to the beach on my birthday or the day after or something. I think it was my birthday. And I was by myself. This is freaking Dilf, some dad with his 13-year-old daughter at the beach. And I was like, okay, whatever. He kept talking to me. And he gets in the water. He comes back and he goes, hey, do you want this rock? And I was like, like an odd question.
I guess.
Okay. And he's like, it's like really pretty. Like, look at it. And I was like, actually, that's a pretty nice rock. And I still have it to this day. But yeah, like literally a rock. Literally a rock you could bring me, and I apparently would be flattered and keep it forever. I'm only keeping because it's pretty, though, to be fair.
Okay, don't give her like anything.
Yeah, give me pretty rock.
Pretty rock. Yeah.
Like a gemstone or something. Like a diamond.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. It's literally not that hard. They make it so fucking easy these days.
So easy.
You could do it from your phone. You could send her food, send him food.
Literally just look up like date ideas,
Yeah.
gift ideas for your boyfriend, girlfriend.
Get on Pinterest.
Get on Pinterest, get on TikTok.
Maybe we'll
Look
make
it up.
like a little we should make like a really cheesy TikTok of us like acting out like a DoorDash. Or like, here's one idea. Writing like a letter.
My God.
Here's another.
That's so funny.
But it's essential. Like, getting too comfortable and not dating your partner is just boring.
Yeah.
It's getting boring.
You know, you don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
Date your partner, make it exciting, make it fun. And if you don't know how to, just look it up.
Literally Google it.
not
Keep
that
my
hard.
relationship interesting. I'm so serious.
But I bet you, if you already feel this way and like you're not doing any of these things, just doing a check-in.
Yeah.
Or you know what? A courageous conversation doesn't even have to be like something negative. It could just be like, hey, I just really wanted to know, like, what do you think I'm doing well in, and what can I like do better in? Like, just on a random.
It could literally be like, I want to take you to dinner. Maybe that's a courageous conversation for someone.
Oh.
Like a girl asking a guy out for dinner. Maybe it's like, oh, whoa, in their relationship, you know, like, take a step back. She's
It just
asking me to
reminds
dinner.
me of like those TikToks where the girls like take their man out and she puts out like two different like cards.
They're both things she wants. It's like, go to Sephora, go to Sephora.
Take me to Sephora or buy me a bag at like
Louis
Coach
Vuitton
or
or
some
some
shit.
fuck, yeah.
So funny.
Oh, you should do that to Logan. Because she would do everything that, and she wouldn't complain. She'd be like,
Aw.
purred, okay.
She would think it's a fun date idea. She's like,
See,
oh my
you could almost make it work out for you. Making it spontaneous and fun. You said,
God. Just do it.
either of these things I want to do, so you pick.
Maybe, and then like maybe the last one could be like something they want to do. Like
Maybe.
take me to ice cream or
Let's go to the beach. I don't know.
go drink a beer at a sports bar. And they'd be like, oh my God.
Oh my
You know,
God,
if they-
yes.
You show them the other one, it's the one he wanted to do. Oh, I'm sorry.
Like, bummer, let's go get ice cream.
But anyway, I hope that we hope this helped kind of reignite that little fire
Yes.
or continue to light that flame.
For your partner.
And for you. You know, you
Yeah.
deserve to be with somebody that is going to put in the work and is going to keep loving you unconditionally. And it could be fun. It could be fun. Love doesn't have to be serious all the time.
Yeah. I feel like if you're single, these are also just good reminders to be like, this is what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
These are my expectations. Because I will say right now, in this moment, I'm like, talking to these men, and I'm like,
None of them are.
I say, you're not really giving this. I say, you sound like a good time and all, but where's all this? So, which, you know, to be fair, we're strangers. So,
Yeah.
who knows? Get to know people and see if they're going to do all this shit. Don't bombard anyone, but some good first date questions. Do you believe in love languages?
Keep that mental note.
Honestly, we need an episode on like first date questions to ask men.
Oh, to ask men.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should do
Like-
that for like glowing hour.
Like, what's important? Like, have you read the 5 love languages? Like, is it important? I don't know. I think knowing them is important, but reading the book?
Yeah.
Anyways, if you guys want to see that, let us know, because I would love to have a script to go off of on first dates.
Literally. Would be helpful. Well, that's it for today's episode. We are so happy that you're here and listening. Please keep engaging with us. Give us a good rating.
Yes.
Please. We really would appreciate it. And let us know what you think about our new name.
Yeah.
We're really excited.
We should have a different name on Instagram now. It should be We Care a Lot Pod.
Yes.
So
And if you can't remember that, it's probably in
the link.
the link below.
Show
Show notes, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, I'm always hearing, like, when I listen to a podcast, they're like, in the show notes. I'm like, okay, I hear ya. But ain't she just the description? Like, it doesn't say show notes when we're posting it and, like, editing it on our...
Yeah.
Whatever. But the show notes.
In the show notes.
It will be there.
Well, and please catch our episode on Friday. If you're not caught up on what's happening, we are having 2 separate episodes a week, one on Wednesday, one on Friday. This is our main segment, and then Glowing Hour is staying the same.
Yes.
And that's on Fridays. But yeah, we will see you next time.
Next time.
Bye.